right. So, shall we call it a new content series, or should we just on the road with Cori? It's where I hit record on my videos and act like I'm talking to a friend, and see if I can say enough fucking shit that's worthy of your time and attention to get you to stick with me. What are we talking about for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes? Content creation. When you have an online business, when you have any kind of business really, right? Content is your marketing, your advertising. And because I'm Gen X and we grew up with TV and radio only, you used to outsource that stuff. You used to pay somebody else, a radio and a newspaper, to be able to be seen by others, to know that you're there to do anything. And let me tell you, it was expensive. Off the top of my head, I don't know what our Domino's Pizza, well, we owned one in the small town of Fernie. We didn't do any radio advertising. That was way out of our budgets. We tried to do print only. We did different marketing agents and whatnot. I know many businesses that still use radio. That's great. Price it out for yourself. Social media is a wonderful tool for content creation. YouTube, any of these things. So now you're expected to do it for yourself, especially if you're like a one-person business. You're not going to hire a marketing agent to do that before you've been able to make enough money. Sure, you can do Facebook ads, but that's paying to play, and until you have proven offers or proven way of messaging people to reach them, you're probably going to do exactly what I'm doing here. You're going to do organic content. You're going to do it to show people what you have to offer them, how you can help them with your products, your services, your thought leadership, any of those things. And so that's what I'm doing. So what comes top of mind is lifestyle or influencers, because I happen to be in a structure of a business right now where that's the primary way to get yourself seen on socials, is show your day, show you're using the products, show them that they fit into your lifestyle, so you live your lifestyle. And many of the people that get seen usually have very, very pretty aesthetics in their lifestyle. You can do aesthetics on a budget. It doesn't mean that they are necessarily making lots of money, but they might have great style. Usually I say lifestyle influencers usually have a hobby of beauty. Either it's a beauty in skincare beauty, it's a beauty in clothes and fashion, and these are their hobbies, and probably have been their hobbies for quite some time. They're probably women that were, when they were girls, they poured over fashion magazines, they tried the newest looks, they tried the different skincare routines, they're trying all the different looks, and they're able to now showcase this. It's paid off, right? They know a lot about it. Taking care of themselves comes naturally as part of their hobby, and they do it beautifully. But when people partner up with them and then they try to build a business the same way, if these aren't their hobbies, it's going to be a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work for me to make some greens, to do it on camera, act like I'm not performing for you on camera. It's just inside of me is like, yeah, you like greens and you like these supplements. You've used different supplements for years, but you've never really shared them with people. They're just something that you add into your day for your health or whatever goals that you're doing. And I grew up at a time where we didn't just film everything we do, so it never has become natural to do it on camera. And I'm like, well, that's not even my strongest point. I don't feel like anybody would care what my house looks like, or what I'm drinking today, or what I'm eating today, or not at a point. Once you've got more followers and bigger, and you've helped them enough times, people are curious. My biggest flex right now is my experience that I have of 8 years being in the online space, and probably like walking a little bit on each path to kind of know what so many different things entail, so many different platforms entail, what they're looking for. Blogging is not dead, email is not dead, courses are not dead. Every time somebody puts this trend is dead, like blogs are dead, nobody wants those. That's just somebody selling you something. Blogs are very much alive. If I had my way, I would just write my way to build a business, and that's which direction I started with my coaching business. And people were like, well, you have to get on social, and I was like, well, what if I write blogs? And they're like, how are people going to find your blogs? And I'm like, right. And so how I ended up on social media on Instagram is I realized once I got there, my nervous system is fried and I have to get better at this skill set. And the only way to get better at a skill set is to do said skill set over and over and over again until your nervous system is okay. Show your face online until you're not completely, your nervous system is not completely fried. And it would work and then it wouldn't work, and I would start and I would stop and it would be a whole different thing. And the reason I highlight the nervous system instead of saying it's a mindset issue and fear is because in my physical world, I am a massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist for 9 years. I work with fried nervous systems every single day. I help people de-stress. It's a very overlooked thing in the world of building a business. It's starting to get more airtime and whatnot. So even me talking like this is you getting to know me, getting to know what I'm about, where's my thought process on stuff. How can I help you? How can I help people when they partner up with me to sell the same products and the same stuff that I'm selling anyways? Is I'm going to be there to help you regulate your nervous system. I'm not going to tell you to do it this way and hop in your car and hit record and start talking to it. That's just because, number one, I have 4 hours to myself right now. I don't have to look at the camera, so I can't actually see myself, so it feels like I'm actually looking at the road the way you're supposed to when you drive, right? Or if you've got a passenger in the car and you're talking to them. So to me, my nervous system feels completely relaxed in a car and talking. Plus, after being a parent for 23 years, you want to know the majority of the times I've talked to my kids is in the car. The amount of stuff you find out when you've got somebody locked into a car for 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours at a time is quite a lot's revealed. It's a bonding experience. You can't be anywhere but here, unless they're on their phones. Then they're sort of here but not there. But I digress. I'm not going to tell you to hop in your car and make a video and start talking about things you don't know anything about. Number one, I was like, you have to get used to the products, but you have to learn to make content around the products. And my favorite product that Arbonne offers is the business itself, because I can help people build a business like themselves. I can help people find their uniqueness, their differentiation. How can we position you so that people want to listen to you, so they can see how you're using these products in your everyday, or they can say, how can you help somebody else build a business? Maybe you have these other quality or these other skill sets as well, right? It's finding people's unique skill sets to help them build a business. And I'm most excited about helping Gen X, because so many people my age, so what is Gen X right now? 45 to 60 right now. We probably have all, at one point or another, been around the MLM, the network marketing stuff and all that. But back then, when we were the age where it was okay to try new things without like people thinking you've lost your marbles, when we had young children and whatnot, it was a lot of fucking work. It was a lot of filling out forms and calling people on the phone. You're constantly on the phone, and I was like, I don't have time to do that in my day. When am I going to ever? How do you get in front of new people? You have to ask people to put you in front of other people. You know what the beauty of starting a network marketing business in 2026 is? You don't have to ask anybody to put you in front of other people. You put yourself in front of other people. You go out of your comfort zone. You do things like this to get noticed, to get seen, to have those things. But you will have to make content of some kind. You will have to write blogs, emails, make long form videos. You might have stories on your Instagram, Facebook posts. Maybe you like Threads. I love Threads right now. It's all writing. Maybe you want to do TikToks. You've got to get yourself out there. You don't have to do everything video. In fact, I despise video the most, probably because I feel like I should be camera ready. I should look glamorous. I should not look like I'm going to drive for 4 hours in really, really, really subpar Arctic weathers, and I shouldn't be in a hoodie. I should have done my makeup better. Yeah, the lighting's great. That's because it's a clear, sunny day. But those are all the things inside my head that tell me I'm supposed to do all those things before I make a video, and that is absolutely not true. I can find lots of evidence of people making videos like this, and they seem to have views, they seem to have a business, they seem to be making money. So why can't I? Because this comes natural. And that's what I'm getting at. But the thing is, you don't want to sign up to somebody so that you can do it their way. That's where in the 7 years I've been in the online space, or started in the online space, that is the biggest roadblock that I've come into, is everybody wants to show you their way of doing things. Here's my system. Here's my process. Do it this way. Follow my step-by-step procedure. Here's my templates of exactly what I said. Change one word out. Write the same thing. And that might work to get you out the door, the same way like building a network marketing company of asking your friends and family to try your products. It might get you somewhere, but it's not going to sustain business. It's not going to grow business. You have to learn the skills to do any of these things. But nobody would ever ask, what way do you like to do business, and how can I help you do that? How can I support you be more you? That's what was missing in everything I was looking for. Either I was joining too big of groups to do that, or I was just signing up with people to help me who were much further ahead than me, so they only knew the way that they had found success in doing the thing their way. So they were trying to get you, like, I'm going to teach you how to do it this way. And I don't teach people how to do things my way anymore. Once I found human design, I realized, oh shit, I am a 1-3 profile. If you don't know what that means, that is a trial and error profile. That is an unconscious trial and error. You will find out what doesn't work first before you find out what works. So what doesn't work is constantly showing people the way that you do it and expecting them to have the same results. It absolutely doesn't work. It works for a little while, but if you build something doing it somebody else's way, eventually you're going to find out that you may not like it that way, and it feels inauthentic to you, and it feels kind of cringy, and you have to go start over again. You know what's worse than starting at zero and staying at zero for a small period of time, a short period of time, is building something wildly successful and then all of a sudden going, wait a second, this isn't me. And I've seen that over and over and over again. People that even I was following, and I thought they were being authentic. Come to find out they weren't even being authentic to themselves. It wasn't usually until I'm in their program and they're like, this isn't really authentic to me. I'm going to go in a different direction. And I was like, but I just got here. What do you mean you're going in a different direction? I thought you were going to teach me this way. And what I've come to realize is you want to be able to help people find their way. And the most successful people, like, there's many coaches, I say, doing all sorts of things that they're not on social media. That's because they're behind the scenes helping people do things their way. Coaches don't be like, you've got to do it this way. In sports, the best coach I ever had watched me over and over and over. He's like, no, we just got to make a little tweak here. I'm like, I know, my footwork's backwards. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Every coach tells me I do it backwards, and I'm trying to change. And this coach stopped me. He's like, wait a second. He says, yeah, there's a certain way that we train people to do the footwork and whatnot, and you get them to do that. But somehow you've managed, he said, to not do it their way and be successful. And successful most, like 90% of the time, when it was when I played volleyball in high school. And then there'd be like 2 or 3 times where it would just be completely off because my timing was off. So my coaches would they knew it was my footwork because it didn't look like everybody else's footwork. It was kind of backwards to what everybody else was doing. But this coach I had at the very end of me playing volleyball, he watched me over and he's like, no, don't even try to change your footwork. Or let's just keep you doing what you're doing. Just try this little tweak. And I did it. And my hitting exploded from that point on. He saw what I was doing as an individual and he just tweaked it. He didn't be like, you got to do your foot like everybody else. He's like, it's not going to work. If you've been trying this long and you haven't got the footwork, it's not going to work. We got to look at what you're doing and then we've got to tweak it so you can go forward. And he had enough tools in his tool belt and he had helped enough people along the way that he was able to show me different tweaks that he probably used with somebody else at one other point. And you want to find people like that. The more people you can find like that who will help you, that say, what are you doing? What do you want? That ask you questions. What do you want? What do you like to do? You don't have any, you're at a zero starting block with content? Okay, you've got to start somewhere. Let's start here. Let's do this for a while. We can figure out, and you'll know right away if it's hard on your nervous system. You'll know right away if it's not just awkwardness, but like me, your nervous system just shuts down and you're done being in front of a camera for like 5 to 6 days because your nervous system just overloaded. And you would know an overloaded system like I would because I work with them every day to be like, it's my nervous system. It's not going anywhere, and pushing through it is how trauma's induced. And so I would just stop to be like, whatever, then you can't help me and I'll go on my way. So I'm not like that. So I've now become the thing that I needed the most. And then I have to talk about it and show it to people how I'm doing. So that's what I mean by content. I don't even know when I do these car videos exactly what I'm saying. They're called stream of consciousness thinking, right? That I start speaking and stuff just starts coming through me of what I needed to hear when I was learning, what maybe other people need to hear while they're learning, that you're not wrong, the system that you're using probably is, right? My father, if he was still alive, would be 76 years old. He's been dead for 30 years now. And recently my mother showed me one of his report cards from like back in the 50s. And it said he'd be a great student if he could only like keep focused for like longer than 5 minutes. Is that my father's fault? And most people will be like, oh, you just need to learn to focus better. Oh, yeah, because like the school system requires focus, right? Like when you sit down in a desk, especially in the 50s, and when they were all getting the strap and whatnot, you need to focus, look ahead, focus. His skill set, his energy wasn't focused for sitting in a classroom learning one subject at a time for 60 minutes at a time. His skill set, and you would see it later in life, was doing many things all at once. It's a very scattered, broad kind of skill set. Did he have a problem focusing? Or was it the system that said all people must learn to focus? We can't look at you as an individual. This is how the system works. You must learn to focus or there's something wrong with you. And this is how you get kids and turning into adults who think there is something wrong with them. They don't know how to discern between the system's not working for you or you're broken, right? You're broken. You can't work in this system that you're now going to be in for 12 years. And we're going to over and over and over again to reiterate that to you because you're not doing what the system wants you to do. He was never broken. He just didn't fit the model for that system. And it's the same thing with content creation. If you've been doing the same, if you start and you realize, no, this isn't it, like you might try like 6 different paths before you circle back to be like, actually, I like Instagram. I love the stories. I'm going to learn how to do that and to do it better and get better and stuff. I should know better by now. I should know better after 7, 8 years. I have not been able to condense my thoughts into bite-sized pieces. And I also don't know how to edit it very quickly. If I go to edit it, this is now a 2-hour process to get it into a 30-second piece that's going to come and go with the algorithm. Well, that's dumb. And instead, you know what I'm learning to do? Okay, I'm doing it right now. I'm making a video. I can't exactly check how many minutes I'm at to make sure because I'm on a curve and there's somebody actually beside me, and that would just be bad road skills, wouldn't it? And I have to put my glasses on to read the numbers on the screen. So my guess is that I've been going for like 18, 19 minutes, right? Okay, so I'm at 19 minutes. 19 minutes, I can just talk in circles, talk in different thought streams, help a person out. That is natural to me. I have about a 20-minute window of talking before I'm like, okay, let's wrap it up. Where am I going to condense this into 30 seconds, you guys? Where? This is what you have to learn to see who you are to be able to succeed in business. To build a business, you have to understand yourself better, and you have to be willing to accept that's who you are. And I'm finally there. I'm finally just making a fucking random video in a car. guys, and this has taken me 7-8 years to do this, to put it up online. If this makes it up on YouTube, I did that. Maybe it'll get 1 view, maybe it'll get 2 views, maybe it'll get 0 views. But the point is, I make the video, I put it up. It's going to be what's called an evergreen piece of content that will live on. It's a podcast style. You don't need to watch me drive in the car. You can do what I do. If I get a YouTube video I want to listen to, I just put the headphones on. If there's something I want to see, I stop it and I watch. And so all of this to say, 20 minutes to wrap it around, is you have to figure out what works for you. And if you're blessed to find somebody who can support you being you, don't miss it. And that's what I'm here for, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am inviting people to join me on the Arbonne. Like, let's build to the top. Let's build to the next level. Let's just teach you some sales skills, marketing skills, content skills. So you don't have to figure out the product to sell. It's either sell the greens, the fizz, the protein, the skincare, any of that out of the Arbonne catalog, but also offer the business if you have the skill set that helps people build businesses. And it provides the structure versus trying to figure out what products you're going to sell. Who do you want to sell to? And now that you have to learn the messaging, and it's bigger than you actually realize. It looks easy when you see people who've been doing it, or they have teams, or they've been doing it for a long enough time. You don't see the glitchy part. And then you don't see their structure that's behind the camera. You don't see if they have a supportive spouse, if they have childcare, if they have people cleaning their houses, if they have a 9-to-5 that supports them, if they have grandparents that take the kids, if they have, are they paying a coach? Are they taking courses? You don't know any of that unless people tell you or show you. And what I could never find is anybody who wanted to give me individual attention and ask me questions to help me build it out. And so I'm going to do that. And yeah, it is going to be Arbonne. And Arbonne might be your starting point, and it might be the mountain that you want to climb. But you need a mentor who understands nervous system as much as they understand mindset work, because your nervous system will override everything. And that one, I'll argue to even the toppest guru coaches who think mindset is everything. It's mindset and nervous system together, and if your nervous system isn't working properly, your mindset doesn't necessarily get out of it. So you've got to find a way to regulate your nervous system for each time you grow. Anyways, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later.